I'm take another crack at this motor again. I put it out on the water, started it up, and the carburetor would run, but it would not basically go full throttle. Well, it wouldn't idle smoothly, and it wouldn't ramp up from idle to full throttle. So I ordered another needle for it, a needle valve. I gotta take this back off and put this in, then put it back in. So I'm going to take note of the linkage. I don't know if you can see that or not. I like to videotape it first so you can see what we're talking about here. I did a compression check on it as well to make sure that my cylinders were running even. They were running about 120 psi, which was good. So the hardest, these bolts are like so in a weird position. They're like all the way up in there, and you can't really take them out easily, but you can get them out, but not easily. So once I get started, it'll probably come apart. Got to take the other bolt is down here. That's got to come out. This has to come off. It's a little C-clip on here as well, right in there, right here. That's got to come off without losing it. And this bolt here, I said that before. That bolt there. This hose have to come off, no big deal. This other clip have to come off back here. That has to come off. This clip here. Come off of there. And this other line down here has to come out. I gotta use a 11mm open inch wrench to be able to get that out of there. There we go. Kind of weird getting this wrench in there. It fits in there. You only get a quarter of a turn each time. It's 10mm. I'm sorry, 11mm opening. Wish I had a nice quiet garage so you can hear all this background noise. You got buses and trolleys and cars and impatient people riding by. I'm gonna just take this loose. I'm not gonna take it all the way off, but just loosen it up enough where I can kind of get it started. Now I'll do the other side. For the other side, I gotta take this clip off right here. I don't know if you can see this clip right there. That's gotta come out of there. I like to use this magnet so I don't lose the C-clamp. If I pop this off, I put the magnet right on there. So when I pop this clip off, the magnet will catch it so it won't go flying somewhere. If I can get it right under there. hard to get it in there and catch it. Oh, that was soft. There it go. Came off. I didn't even see it. Basically, I need to pull this out the way here. Once I get this out the way, I can pull this out, pull this pin out right here. There's a washer on the other side of here. I'm going to catch that with the magnet as well, so I don't lose it. It's like a little teeny washer right here. Just kind of move this out the way so I can get to the other bolt. The other bolt is right here. Right in here. Once you get the nut off, you have to separate the carburetor and then finish unscrewing it. And then this hose comes out here. This hose comes off. One, and then we got the linkage. Move this out the way. Don't forget, it's a little washer right there that I'm getting ready to lose if I don't grab it. Let me grab this first if I end up losing it. Maybe brass, may not stick to the magnet. Oh, yeah, it's brass. It ain't sticking to the magnet. So I'll just pull that off. So now I need to take this bottom hose off here. Take this bottom hose off, you can see that there. Take the bottom hose off here, and then the linkage right there. So basically you flip this up. You flip this up and out the way. Up. And then it just slides over. Oh, came off a little clear. Right, oop, a little piece fell down in there. Magnet. Well, magnet comes in handy, grab little things. This just pulls out the way. And one last hose, the fuel line right here, that needs to be moved off. Just kind of slide it down, I guess. I could have lifted it out, I guess. Fuel lines removed. So now, got to turn these nuts. They got one nut out. the other one off. Sorry about my hand being in the way. Gotta get this little nut here, and then grab it with the magnet. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's the carburetor. Pull it out of there. There we go. So back to the drawing board. We're just going to take this apart, clean it out real good once again, and change the needle valve. Once I change that, we're good to go. Alright, I tried to take this inlet apart and figure I would do myself a favor and change these gaskets while I was, O-rings while I was working on it. And I took it apart, they just kind of got real brittle and fell apart. So I'm going to have to get another one of these. I don't know where I can get any kind of source for O-rings at that'll fit in here that matches up with the one that I have. Boaters World, they do have this piece here. Forget the part number, but they do have this piece, because this must be a standard piece that they carry. The part that actually goes on the motor itself, the actual that would be male. They don't have that there. That's kind of OEM, I guess. But they do have this part. This part goes on the external tank that they carry in the store. So I'm getting another one of these, and I guess these O-rings fell apart. It was leaking when I would pressurize it with the bulb. It would start leaking. So I figured I'll just change it while I was working on it. But anyway, that ain't gonna work because I can't find O-rings. So let's on to the next. Uh-oh, where'd the spring go to? Oh, it went inside of there. Carburetor. Take this thing apart yet again so I can get the needle out of here. There's still dirt in there. It's weird how that. Maybe my filter's clogged up, or maybe it's getting clogged up with the. I just cleaned this, and there's a little bit of debris, a little bit of dirt in the gas. That's strange. Look at that. So this little pin comes out as before. To the side there. I put this socket on here. Tap this pin out. Remember how it goes in there. It looked like it goes in on the end. Goes in this way on the intake side. Take the float out and take the pin out right here. So that's the old one. Now it looks kind of black looking. I'm not sure if that's like right on the tip there. It's dark color. Here's the new one. That's the part number. I was able to get that. So once again, I'm going to open this up. Make sure they fit first. I can't return this if it don't work. Make sure it looks the same size. The weather's changing here on the East Coast. It's kind of warm out today, like 60 at the highest, but I should have did this in the spring. I gotta have all summer to get use out of the motor. Here's the new one. Here's the old one. You can see that or not. Like one is like a darker color than the next. It has like a silver coating on here. It has like a little, it's like a silver coating on this one. And the old one looked like it must have worn off or something. It doesn't look shiny. But maybe that's the difference. So I'm going to clean this out with some carburetor cleaner really well again. Get it cleaned out. It's not dirty, I mean, but I had some dirt in the gas for some reason. I don't know why. There's no filter on this thing when the motor's running, so maybe that's just, it's just sucking in all kind of whatever environment. Pull this gasket out again. Make sure I don't rip it. I'm not ordering any more parts for this thing. This is it. If this don't work this time, I'm going to buy a used outboard, like a 25 horsepower Mercury, Suzuki's, Daihatsu, something. Anybody got any good leads, let me know. I'm not trying to spend too much money, but I'm trying to get something maybe for under $1,000 for 25 horsepower. Something in the 2000s. I don't want like a 79 30-year-old motor, but alright, so I'm going to clean this up with some carburetor cleaner. This jet right here, this inlet jet, you're supposed to tighten it all the way up and back it out one full turn. So maybe I'll do that now. I'll take this out. I'll clean that too again. So it goes in one full turn and you back it out one turn, counterclockwise, and then from there you make your adjustments. That's a good starting point. All right, I'll be back. So we're all cleaned up here. Getting ready to put this back together again, and I notice like these two marks on the inside of here. It looks like maybe the float is hitting like this bottom section here. There's a mark here and a mark here. So I wonder if the float hitting those two areas here and over here, right there. One is like hitting that and not leveling out properly. I'm gonna put this back together. Everything cleaned up nice, I guess. I'm gonna take this Q-tip and clean out the spot where the needle goes. I want to stick it in there and then kind of twist it around, polish it up a little bit. Somebody was saying I could use toothpaste, stick it in there, stick some toothpaste in there, but This new needle looks a lot better than the old needle. Obviously because it's new, but I want to stick this in there. Anything that's sticking, I think this is sticking. The needle isn't letting no more gas in, like it sticks closed. But I did notice the new one, like the tip is very shiny looking, and then the old one is very dull looking. So I'm wondering, did that finish wear off, and that's why it's sticking. Oh, here goes nothing. I'll put this back in. It goes right in there. Let me show you the same side. I keep worried about that. Yeah, it's the same side. I'm gonna stick this back in there, little teeny hole there. You can see in there, it's kind of this little hole here. Put this in there, and then this goes on top of that. Interesting. It dawned on me. I wonder which way does this go? This way? Or this way? I must go this way. Yeah, this is. I'm assuming it goes that way. Let me see. Yeah, it goes this way. I mean, now I got to double check the diagram now. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm going to put this back together. I went and dug out the manual, and I kind of take a look and see how the carburetor was put together, so I can see right there where the little tab on the goes up into the carburetor right here. You can see that or not. It goes up into the carburetor. There's a little burr on the end of here too. I'm gonna fix this little. Must have, like right here, it's really rough. Right on the edge right here. It's like a rough edge here. I must have nicked it with the screwdriver. I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. Wasn't bad, but alright, let's put this thing back together. I think I'll go out to the water later on today and check it out. See if it starts up. Get my pen here. I don't know if you can adjust the float on here either. This little tab doesn't seem too adjustable, but what I know. I've never adjusted it. I've seen carburetors that were adjusted, but I don't know if I can adjust this one. Just gonna put this on here and tap this down a little bit very gently. Okay, so this already sits level. Like if you hold it flat, I'm not sure if I can show you this. Like it sits level already, like it's parallel to the base, like it's parallel and here sits low, so that should be adjusted already. This is the highest point. When it hangs down about that much down, so it should be good to go. Hopefully that's the problem. Alright, so I'm put this thing back together, hopefully for the last time. If this don't work, I'm going to look for another outboard, and I'll probably try to sell this one for a couple dollars. And then once I sell it, put towards another one, maybe a Mercury or something newer. This is, like I said, this is the 96, which I guess the year don't really matter, but it is obsolete. That's what bothers me, because you just can't get the parts for it anymore. Even though when I started it, it started out with one pull. I thought that was amazing. Like it never did that before. I mean, as far as I can remember. Well, for a long time it hasn't done that. I just kind of pulled it, started right up, primed it, pulled it, and it was running. I just couldn't tune it properly. Like it kept running lean, like it was like running out of gas or something. So I hoping that this is the first part that I put in this carburetor since I had it. I've always taken it out, cleaned it, didn't replace anything. So this is the first time I'm replacing something. I'm hoping that's all I have to do. Alright, that should be it. So the seat here says screw it all the way in, just fully seat it, and then take it out. One turn counterclockwise, and then I'll be reinstalling it. All the way in counterclockwise. I mean clockwise, all the way in until it's seated. Right there. And notice I put a little mark on there, around the tip there. So I'm just going to turn this completely out the other direction. Open it up counterclockwise. One full turn. About right there. Alright, and that's that. So I'll put this thing back together yet again, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully that's it. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully that's it. Alright, I'll let you know the progress. I I had this thing all back together again, and I noticed something, and I'm wondering, this little port right here, there's a little hole right there. You can see that or not. It's a little hole right there, right here. Now, I just noticed that. Never noticed it before. So I started playing around with it. And I put this toothpick in there. And the toothpick went in a little bit. And then I was like, all right, maybe it's just some kind of a, I don't know, some sort of a, I don't know what I thought it was. So upon further investigation, I got a needle. And I know you're not supposed to put needles in things because it sometimes make the holes larger or can kind of damage them. But I put the needle in there and it went in like a little bit, and then I pressed it a little more and it pushed all the way through. That means that it probably was clogged. This little port here is probably clogged. Now I cleaned this thing up twice already and didn't notice that until now. So I'm wondering, could that be part of my reason why this isn't running smooth? If you got one of these carburetors, don't overlook that. This little, I looked it up and can't find out what it is, but it did go all the way through into this jet here. Like it pushes all the way through. You can see how this needle follows the same path as this little path here, right into the center here. So I'm wondering, was that clogged up all that time, causing this to not run correctly? I don't see any more like that. This doesn't go anywhere. This one doesn't. This little port here, this little thing doesn't go anywhere. So now I'm gonna go back and clean it up again. Spray some compressed air in there and some carburetor cleaner in there again, and flush that out. So I'm not sure what that was all about, or why was it clogged up, or what. But now I'm curious, was that my problem all along, or that's just help it to run smoother? I'm going to clean it up again, and I'm going to try it one more time, and I'm going to see what happens, because this is kind of weird to me that I missed that the first time. I'm cleaning it up one more time, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, I'm back. So basically, what I realized was that, like I said before, clean this port out really good. This little port out right here, and that pretty much feeds into the main nozzle where the main jet is at. So it must get some kind of air, or I don't know what it does, but it was definitely clogged up right here. I didn't realize when I put it together the first time, but now I'm putting it back together, and I feel more confident that things will work out better. So I got a new inlet needle. Got that, so I feel like now this thing should run like a champ, hopefully. Water pump is good. Check the compression, so that should be good to go. Alright, so put this gasket on. I noticed this gasket was getting kind of brittle, so I'm going to soak it in some gasoline just to get it wet again. Get it wet. Stick it on there. I guess if I had a Mercury, I could get parts better. I'm kind of afraid working on this because I can't, if I break something or something don't work right, I know I won't be able to get any part for it. So I'm kind of nervous about working on it. The outboard motors are so expensive. It's like you spend like $3 grand for a small motor, and it's amazing. I don't know. And then nobody wants to sell you a used one because used ones are very popular. Alright, so I'll put this back together here. This goes here. And this goes like this. Like that. Then this goes on top of here. Back to the drawing board again. I'm kind of excited because I'm glad that I noticed that, because that kind of makes me feel like it's funny how you take something apart and you can't find nothing wrong with it. Like everything looks in place. That's like, but your product or whatever you're doing ain't working. So it's like, wow, I'll take it apart and everything looks good. But when you find something that's wrong, it's like, okay, now I found something that was broke, so that's a good thing. Not that you wanted things to break, but you found something that wasn't right. And then you can fix it, and then you're like running again. I'm gonna install this back on the boat again, and hopefully like that's it. Hopefully that was like the last thing. All right.